These black chairs, and that's the best choice.
But anyway, yeah.
All right. Hey, stop back in those kids. Hold on, guys.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, we're going to get this weigh-in kicked off. Okay, come on. We got boat number 15, Bill Long out of Las Vegas, and Bill Lyons out of Fort Mojave. Crank it closer next time. Our bag. It's a best pro bag. All right, guys, how'd you do today? All right. You guys see me out there? No, guys. No speaker. That one. You gotta go like this. Yeah, I know. See, right over here? Big fish, we got a nice largemouth. 3.62. 3.62, nice job. Alright guys, put them up, you got some picture takers out here. If anybody in the crowd wants pictures, let me know so we can get these guys to hold up some fish, alright?
Yeah. Are they all?
It's too big. He's having trouble holding it, guys. Nice. There we go. That's the way to start it off today. Just kidding. I know you're not going to tell me today.
So now they're going to go from over some medicine that just came to the big thing.
Next up, number 8. Jim Pacheco and Gary Snepp of the Mesa, Arizona Nitro State team.
Nice.
Shameless plug. Jim, how'd you do today? Did good. Like to hear it. Keep it going, Gary. Oh, hold on.
Can't. Can't go anywhere.
All right, got a big fish in there? All right, got a big fish. Nice. Get up here, Gary. Come on. Water and tuna release boat, guys. 1319. Good job, guys. Good job. We're gonna weigh a big fish. We got a big smallie.
I'm not.
Pretty good. Your head.
3.52. 352 big fish.
Just when you get.
There you go.
Like that. Just like that.
Yeah, you know those 5 wells?
Run the plug. No? Live well stays full?
Yeah, you gotta recirculate.
Boat 3. Williams and Mary Williams from Brawley, California.
No, they can't. So, because when you're out there and you're actually catching some fish, you determine which way's larger and stuff, and which one's smaller, so that when you catch a bigger fish, so that the smaller one goes to the bigger one.
In case you're wondering, we're having technical difficulties. We lost power to the trailer. So you get the pleasure of having it.
I thought it was just all the
Very small.
That's what they were doing back there. They were taking the tags. He's been awful. Never got a bass that big in my life.
Well, there's a cure for that.
Yeah, there is.
It's like get up in the morning and go.
I'd have that sitting in the fire bed instead of on the scale.
That's a good looking smallmouth right there, guys.
Yeah.
Five fish, 5 line. Here is yours. 1385. Nice play. Good job. Boat number 1. Did you guys live up to your boat number? Maybe. Whoa, that's looking good. Scott Owens and Tom Kilba from Phoenix, Arizona. Hey, everybody's wondering, who is your major sponsor? Guys, these sponsors do a lot for these guys. Some of them might not be able to make it to all these events without them. It's not cheap to be a fisherman. Look at that small one. You got a big fish in there? All right. Five fish, 5 lines. $14.90. I think that's the big bag so far, right? Oh, that's it? Big bag? Big largemouth. $3.85 big fish. Nice job, Scott.
The fours they get something fatter.
In your bag?
You didn't have a fat. You didn't have the you're the one you showed me in the picture.
Tom, you're good to go. Next boat, we got number 13. Jim Sims and Harold Herman. Sorry.
Huh? Really? Whoa.
Jim Sims and Mel Williams. Guys, that bag is straining. Looks pretty good. Did you guys have fun? Was it warm? What'd you get your fish on? Tell them?
Yeah, that was good.
A little bit of everything, all right?
Oh, he doesn't have a small fish.
We got 5 fish, 5 alive.
Wow.
1676, the new leader. We're gonna let a big fish, guys. There's a nice one in there. Take a look at that, guys.
$52,000.
We got water down here on the side, guys. Hold on just a second, truck driver.
Whoa.
Wait. 4.40. You gonna pitch it with your big fish? Just hold it up right there. Or not. Let's get him in the water, guys. Good job.
Big ass small. Expect on you.
Good job. Boat number 7.
Okay, I'll take his word for it.
Marty
Get stripes on it.
and John from Phoenix, Arizona. Marty, you got thumbs down. What's going on? Tough day? That's fishing. Marty, I thought you promised me 20 pounds.
Uh-oh.
Good thing it's a 2-day tournament. We got 2 and 2, guys.
Wow.
2 fish, 2 alive. 2.11. Always time to redeem yourself, guys. Better luck tomorrow. Go ahead. I forgot to ask, you want to weigh a big fish? Just kidding. Fishing humor. Come on, guys. Tough day. Give them a round of applause. Good job. Okay. Mike Grillhard and Matt Shura. Mike, how'd you do today? These guys had a good day, Mike says. I told Matt I wouldn't embarrass him and bring up their Lucas Oil Championship a couple weeks ago where they won a boat.
Yeah.
Nitro State team here in Arizona. These are your homegrown boys. Ladies, I will mention Matt is a fireman. Matt, you got a big fish today?
Yeah.
Gotta weigh it.
I agree.
All right, we're gonna roll them through. Don't worry.
Nice fish.
5 and 5. Big fish weight for Matt Shura and Mike Grillhard.
Not big enough.
383. Nice job, guys. 383. Mike, go ahead and pull her out of here. Thank you, Mike. You guys got a good basket. 17-10. Nice. I gotta tell you, when you got a boat like that, you better produce, right, man? Good job. Thank you, guys. Grab the water there, Matt. Next up, boat number 6.
Still out there.
Shane Moline and Tina Kennedy. Tina, we're not going on stage today? All right, that's okay. Shane, do you have a good day?
Yeah, let's see what kind of weight they got.
Hold on.
Who caught him?
She did.
Tina are from Yuma, Arizona.
There's your 20-pound bag.
Nice fish.
That was gonna go close.
5 fish. 5 fish, 5 alive, everybody. Oh man, big bag.
Your pretty got real excited.
1769. That's big bag so far? You go and pull the jump forward.
I'm glad I'm in the middle.
Big fish, wait.
Really? It looks bigger than that.
327. Check that, hold on. fish. Good job, Shane. Yep, right up here. Right there. She's gonna take a picture. If she's paying attention. Hello.
Got it. Sorry.
Gotta put you on the spot.
Oops. I look away for 2 seconds.
Mark Wilkinson and Keith Learn. Parker, Arizona, right down the street, right?
You know that's a legend.
Just so y'all know, this megaphone's a lot heavier than the microphone. Look at that.
You want to go to my target? Just making sure, Buzzard.
Let's catch fish on. Somebody's gonna tell me. Just wait, guys. Be patient. 16-11. Nice bag. 16-11.
Ricky's going, yeah, these guys have got their balls in the outside. Put them on.
There's water here if you want to jump out and kill it. Big fish. 3.88. 388. Big fish. 388.
They're still coming in way back there.
Daryl and John Osborne, Mesa River, Mesa and New River.
What are those things?
5 fish, 5 alive.
Yeah. Especially if you can't grab a hold of them and climb up with it.
We are going to weigh a big fish. Total weight 1236. Good job, guys. Round of applause. Okay. 350, big fish. 350. Good job, guys.
I want to see it 5 times.
Go ahead, pull the boat forward. Boat forward.
Yeah, look back there. A lot of them.
Next up, boat number.
It's total over the weekend, right?
Josh
Do you total per day and then total over the weekend?
Yeah. Arizona Nitro State Team. We're not going to talk about Tom.
Oh, it's going to be heavy.
Come on up, guys. Hurry up. We got fish here. 5 fish, 5 alive. Holy. Josh, you mind if I mention you're #1 in the Central Bassmaster right now? Is that cool? I won't even mention it.
There he is.
522, big fish. Nice job.
Big lead weight.
Good job, guys.
They made it, swallow this, yeah.
Next up, boat number 9. Danny Ochoa from Lake Havasu and Tony Richards from Oceanside, California. Have a good, guys.
Nope.
We got a big fish going.
Oh, okay.
Get those other ones ready, guys. 348, big fish. Nice job. Danny and Tony weighing 5 fish, 5 alive. You guys got all largemouth? Nice job. Let's get one of you on stage, grab the fish. 13.98, nice job, guys. Grab your weight slip. Pull the truck forward, guys. Next up, Lake Havasu's own AJ Ian Austin Seaman. Nobody from Lake Havasu here. Alright. Pump down boys here. Nice and close. There you go. Good job, number 5.
How many other champions? Not the one at the 2 boats left to go.
Fish. 5 fish for these guys.
Champion boat, the red 80 back?
Put them in the back.
Sold the champion. No, he doesn't blow it.
Think that jump?
Got an ugly old Jeep, new Jeep.
5 fish. 5 alive for these guys. 16, 19. Nice job. Good job. Wait, big fish. We got a nice big largemouth here. 357. Nice fish, guys. Good job. Number 4, Danny Lakaitis from Lake Havasu and Tim Price from Yuma, Arizona. Danny had Tim. Oh, I said Tim Price. 5 and 5. Danny had a fun day. I guess that's good. 1446. Nice job. Let's go. Next up, we got boat number 10. Athena.
Oh,
Too close, go ahead. Keep going. Athena Hammond and Steve Miller from Mesa, Arizona. Steve, you have fun? Good or bad? Athena, I think you got more weight than Marty. Sorry, Marty. 3 fish, 3 alive. 3 fish, 3 alive for Athena and Steve. 876. Nice job. Tough day out there. We are weighing a big fish for Athena. 292, big fish. Good job. Stay there, Athena. Hand her your bag.
tell us pants.
He didn't have a shirt on, so.
Boat number 18, John Yarbo from Parker. Tom Graham from Big River, California. How we do, guys? 5 fish? 5 fish, he says. You guys smart? We're going to wager on if they get close to the stage or not. So pick out your favorite driver, and we're going to see how far they are. How we looking, Justin? Got some good looking fish in there. Total weight 1532. Nice bag, guys. We are weighing 15. Boat number 27.
Just be careful of the
Hey, I've never seen a bass boat that has the driver console on that side.
Is he good? Is he okay? Not in the shot?
Boat number 27, Randy and Darlene Ernst from Rancho Mirage, California.
Rancho Mirage, Randy.
How'd you guys do?
Yeah.
Have fun? Alright, that's a good looking bag, guys.
15 pounds. So Brad's a good friend of mine. I fished the team circuit with him with English Choice, and he won't even tell me what he caught him on. But he can give us a little story about. He can maybe give us a little story about at least what he caught, and maybe give us a couple tips. I don't know. So I'll introduce Brad to.
Hi guys. Yeah, thank you. You know, Saturday night we won the first tournament, and we went out, started on our first 2 spots, couldn't find anything, and I got thinking, well, I know this spot, let's go check it out. Well, we went up on there, and he just happened to be one of them. We had 27 pounds. So we went pre-fishing 2 weeks ago to find something else, you know, to help go along with this. And we found a spot, big long point running out in the lake, and we pulled up on there, caught a limit, but nothing big, but it caught a real fast limit. So we told ourselves, well, we're gonna go here first, get our limit, stay here till it gets dark, because we don't want anybody to know where we're fishing. You know, it's daylight, they can see you driving all over the place. So we're gonna go here, get our limit, stay here till it gets dark, and we're gonna go to the spot. Pull up on there, had a limit like in half an hour, one of them was a 5 pounder. So we thought, well, let's just stick around a little bit longer, you know. Then we caught a 6. And then it got dark, so we're gonna leave, and we're thinking, well, I don't know, there's some pretty good fish. We're getting one of those big fish about every hour or so. About another hour later, we stuck around a little bit longer, we got another 6. About another hour later, we got another 5. So we had 4 fish that were 5 to 6.5 pounds is what they were. And we had 1 2.5 pounder. So that time the wind come up, and I mean, it was howling. I mean, you had waves that were like this. Matter of fact, the boat got sunk out there, coming into wade, and caught a wave, filled it full of water, next wave rolled over. People were okay, they were right at the boat ramp. They were real lucky because of that. But like I say, we just pull up on this spot, got lucky, never even went to our key spot, which, you know, kind of good, you know, hopefully it's still there, and everything's still good. But it just, we're throwing jigs, basically jigs at 7-inch power worms, 35 to 40 foot of water. We were using half-ounce jigs, but when the wind come up, we switched to 1 ounce because we just couldn't feel them anymore, you know. And I don't like throwing those big heavy jigs because I lose all my feel. When you got that big jig on the bottom, you use the half an ounce, you can feel everything with it. When you get that big one, these fish aren't eating, they're not thumping it, they're just there. So it feels like every time I pull on it, I have something, I'm setting it constantly. You know, like I feel like a village idiot out there. But hook sets are free. I mean, don't be afraid to set the hook on it. We're using 15 to 20 pound test line, fishing basically big rocks, you know, big round river rocks out on these big end of these long points. And we had them both sitting at 50 foot of water, casting into 30, and most of the fish were coming 30 to 45 foot deep. And we had to needle every one. We'd come up there, just float belly up, so we had to needle all the fish. We got the third big fish. So I run one side of live wells on my boat, so I turned the other side on to fill up the other side because I didn't want to have all these big fish on one side to give them more oxygen because we were pulling them that deep. It's hard to keep them alive anyway. Well, like a village idiot, I turned that side on, turned the other side off. So I killed one of the big fish. You know, I didn't even realize it until we got into weigh in. Well, like I said, we battled the wind for about an hour, and finally we just said, heck, it went in to weigh in, weighed in about 10 after 12. And wound up at 25 pounds. Just got really, really lucky, but like I say, the key was as deep as we were fishing and what we were fishing. I don't know what everybody else is doing, I don't have a clue. Well, we did catch one of the fish earlier on a crankbait, one of the big fish. We caught one of them on a crankbait. It just soft busted shad throughout the water. And it had another one with it, but just as big. Of course, we couldn't catch that fish. But anyway, that's how it goes. I mean, hopefully we can do it again. 3 in a row would be a real kick, but I don't hold a candle to West. You know, we're winning tournaments that are 30, 40 boats. He won 3 of them. and some by himself too. There were 60, 70, 80 boats. So like I say, when he gets up here to talk, you're going to really learn something. Pay attention. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
We've got some good talent in the Nitro team. We've got about 17, 18 guys on the Nitro team, and we really have a good team going. Probably one of the best in the United States. If you get on the website, nitroteam.com, you can see all of us, our profiles, and what we do and stuff if you want to check it out on the computer. This next guy that I'm going to introduce, I've known Wes for a number of years. Probably don't know how many, but when I first met Wes, real friendly guy, but he always fished with his wife, and I thought, wow, didn't he have a guy partner? So I was fishing a tournament, and I was up in the Tano arm, and it was way back in the trees and stuff, and I ran into Wes and his wife fishing back up in there, and we chatted a little bit on how we were doing and stuff like that. And I'm watching his wife, and she's just sitting there with this tree, and I'm going, my partner goes, wow, look at Wes' wife, how she fishes. She fishes better than we do, Next thing you know it, she goes on, she gets a bite, and just sets that hook with a big old flipping tube, flipping rod, and that fish comes flying into the boat, and Wes is netting it, and I'm going, oh my gosh, he catches big fish too. So that's how I really got to know him better, So when I talk to Wes all the time, if I call him on the phone, one of my main questions half the time is, hey Wes, is your wife tired of fishing with you? I need a new partner. So we kid him a lot. Wes has had a really phenomenal good year, and he is the #1 team on the All-Star teams. He's Angler of the Year. He won 3 of those tournaments, one of them by himself. Wife couldn't make it because of Girl Scout cookies. So, but he still went out and did it. He won 3 of the couple of tournaments of All-Stars. So that means he won 16 tournaments this year. That's hard to do, and get Angler of the Year in the most hardest, the All-Star teams, which draws about an average of 80 boats. So that's a pretty good feat to do when you're talking about fishing and fishing a bunch. All-Star teams is probably one of the hardest circuits out there, and some of the most best fishermen to fish. So if you ever want to learn, that's a good one to go jump into. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring Wes up here. Now he's not used to talking in a big crowd, so I said, we'll just come up, have fun. We got some rods here, and we're going to just talk, and he'll give you a chance to answer questions about fishing and where he starts, or what he does, or how he works his lures, or whatever. So make sure you ask him some questions, and we'll support him. But this is Wes McCracken out of Cottonwood, Arizona. Thanks.
All right.
Before I introduce myself, what I kind of want to add is when Gary asked me if he's needing a new partner, he don't want me. He wants Jen.
Well, we understood that.
So, first of all, I'm Wes McCracken. I feel pretty honored that Matt and Gary asked me to come down tonight and talk. And as Gary said, I fish with my wife, Jen, and we fished All-Star now for, I believe, 11 years. We just finished our 11th season.
Speak up.
Speak up? Okay. And we fished together for 11 seasons, or more, like she's put up with me for 11 seasons. And as far as I can remember, she's only thrown me out of the boat one time. As far as the other times, I think I might have been unconscious before I actually hit the water. So, but in all seriousness, it's just something we love to do together. We've done it for a lot of years, and we look forward to doing it every year. What Gary kind of wanted me to talk about tonight was basically our 2012 season, how we went about Angler of the Year. For those of you who don't, I'm sure some of you know what Angler of the Year is. For those who don't, it's basically, it judges you on your consistency through the whole year. The championship's a big deal, but it's one tournament. Angler of the Year is over the entire season. You get your points for placement, you get your points for the pounds you weigh in. At the end of the year, it's all added up, and the highest points is the Angler of the Year. And he also wanted me to talk about consistency on how we went about this year finding our fish, how we went about catching them, depths and different lures, stuff like that. And I want to start with just a little story that kind of taught me a little bit about consistency back when we started. And it was about our second year we started, and we were having a hard time even weighing the limit. We were struggling. It was all new to us. You know, we just hadn't had that much experience, especially in tournaments. And I just remember thinking about Matt Shurik. And I'm not making the story up. He would just seem like he was always in the top of the standings. He was always right there, whether he was in a check or just out of the check. And I was frustrated, and then I had an aha moment. I thought, you know what? I figured it out. Matt has a secret lure. He has some secret bait that he can take to any lake and catch all these fish he wants. And I'm not kidding. I really thought this. And
Well, you were cool.
yeah. So anyways, I'm now on this quest. I'm going to find this secret lure, and I'm going to figure it out.